topic that Laurie and I had talked about a few months ago for me to cover. And with everything that's been going on, I decided we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about something that's been coming up with my clients. It's been coming up in other networking meetings where people are complaining about this and talking about this. So I said, this will be a perfect thing for us to dive into today. And because this is lunchtime, do not take this topic I'm going to talk about related to eating lunch right now. We're going to talk about stress eating and boredom eating, and not only how that affects, at the end of this quarantine, are you going to be heavier than where you want to be? But it also affects your work productivity. And in fact, it's really funny to me that with my clients and with the conversations I've been having on this, people have talked about they are putting on a pair of pants that they were able to wear a couple weeks ago, and now they're not able to, or they're tighter than they were. And that's kind of the immediate pain that people think of, but it's not the actual most immediate pain that's coming up, even if they're not aware of it. So that's where I want to go with this today is what are the dangers of managing or trying to manage your stress, your boredom, those types of things with food, with emotional eating, versus managing them in a healthy way. So in addition to weight gain, in addition to health issues that may come up down the road, emotional eating also decreases the quality of your sleep. The other piece that from a work standpoint, where sleep affects your work, but really from a work standpoint as well, is when you eat for emotion, it is not solving the problem, number one. Number two, it's also making the emotion worse. So, that works together. So let me give you a little visual here. If your problem is here, and your problem is a problem because you are not as emotionally or mentally strong as the problem. Those of you who have kids, if you've got, a 5-year-old with a 5-year-old problem, you're looking at it going, this is not a problem. I know how to emotionally, I know how to deal with this, but it's because your emotions and your mental strength is here. So it's not a problem. If something is a problem for you, if something is going on in your work life and in life in the world right now, and you are seeing that it's a problem, it's because your mind and emotions are here. When you stress eat, when you comfort eat, when you eat for boredom, things like that, it actually makes you weaker mentally and emotionally. So it puts you in a weaker place that it's then harder to get above your problem so your problem is solved. Since we're on mute, just shake your head, raise your hands if that makes sense so far. Okay, good. So you've got this issue of, okay, I'm stressed. Now I've eaten with emotion. I've eaten from that emotion, and now I'm weaker and I'm not able to solve that problem. Another piece that you can probably understand with this very easily is think back to a time, because we've all done it. Think back to a time that you have eaten out of emotion. And how did you feel after that? So you've sat on the sofa, you've gone through a bag of chips, you get to the end of the bag of chips and you're like, how did this bag of chips get gone? I don't know how it got gone. And when you finish that, you go, oh, I have energy to take on the world now. I am in a good mental space. I am ready to go do this. Nobody. Yeah, I'm seeing head shake. No, you're actually in that weaker place and you're not able to handle that stress as well. The last clear and present danger with this that I want to make sure you know is it decreases your ability to focus. And right now, I don't know how many of you are used to working from home or not, but if you're not used to working from home, or you're used to working from home but not used to having everybody else around you work from home, it's so easy to get distracted and to not stay focused. And when you mindfully eat, you have your food, you're not eating distracted, it becomes almost a meditative practice, and it trains your brain to be able to focus. It trains your brain to be able to think about a problem and not get off on rabbit trails. When you're stress eating, when you're boredom eating, when you're eating for reasons other than physical hunger, you're not getting that benefit. You are training your brain actually to be scattered versus being focused. So what do you do about it? So we know the dangers of it now. Why and you're thinking, all right, I want to do this. How am I going to be better at not stress eating? Number one is you need to make an emotions cheat sheet. And I have one that you're welcome to email me. I encourage you, email me, message me, and I will get this to you. If you can also just make your own. And the way you make an emotions cheat sheet, and I have to say that very carefully, is you write down all the different activities that help you process emotion. Go for a walk. Michael, you just went for a walk a little bit ago. So you were able to help your stress with that. You were able to help not only your health, but mental health as well. When, go out for get a breath of fresh air, have a cup of hot tea, read a fiction book, whatever it might be, whatever's going to be on your list, but make a list of all the things that help you process emotion. And then the way I have it outlined here, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but you've got a column where these are things that help me when I feel stressed. These are things that help me get energy when I feel tired. These are things that help me when I feel angry to calm down. Because when you're feeling an emotion, you have one immediate job, and that is notice it and name it. And that is hard enough when you're in the middle of stuff to notice and name what the emotion is, much less figure out, what am I going to do to solve this? And if your default is to try to go to food, then as we've discovered, that's not going to solve it. It's going to make it worse. What I use, and I have one of these that I keep in my planner all the time, it's my cheat sheet of, oh, I'm feeling tired, or I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling whatever. I recognize the emotion. I go to my cheat sheet and I say, that doesn't sound like it will solve it. That sounds like that'll solve that today. And so you do 2 or 3 of those things. I had this happen a couple of weeks ago where I had finished a chaotic day. We had started the work from home thing, and I was feeling stressed, and I wanted to go eat chocolate. And not because chocolate was pleasurable, but because I wanted to calm my emotions. And I said, nope, can't do that. I'm teaching people on this right now. I definitely can't do this. So I tried 2 or 3 different things, and finally a combination of 2 or 3 things on my list got me calmed down where, all right, I can handle the situation that's going on. So that's step number 1, is have a cheat sheet. Step number 2 is prevent the little hassles anywhere that you can. Anywhere that you see yourself getting frustrated over little stuff. If you're working from home now, Greg and I were talking a minute ago about, one of my husband's frustrations and stressors right now is he's working at his desk, but in an uncomfortable dining room chair. That's a little stress that's easy to take care of. If you're working in a cluttered space, cleaning it up some so that it's a little bit better and a little less stressful for you. If you're still out running errands, running different activities with your business, and you're not someone who keeps your gas tank, above, full, you let it get really close to empty. Those little stressors are stressful enough anytime, but anything you can do to prevent that little spike of adrenaline throughout the day in different areas, making sure you keep your gas tank closer to full, things like that, do that. So make a list of emotions, make a list of little stressors that you want to take care of. And then third one, when you've got the big issue that you're dealing with, is write it out. Write out everything you can think of, brain dump about this problem, about this stressor. First, look for false facts. What in there, it's not really true. It sounds good, it sounds true, but when you question it, you realize you're making some assumptions and it's not really true. And then recognize whatever the first real step is that you can take to solve it, and take that action this weekend, take that action the beginning of next week, get it on your calendar to take that action. So those are my 3 big tips for managing your stress right now. Emotions, cheat sheet, take care of the little stuff, and then write out your issue and look for false facts and do your one action, one activity. And good news is we're coming up on the weekend, so you can implement a lot of this right now. You can get a space uncluttered. You can get an action item or an action plan for whatever it is that's stressing you out. If you're thinking, This is good. I'm struggling with this though. I do have something that's coming up next week that when we do our 60 seconds around, I'll tell you about, but I do have a plan that will help you to do that, because April is a perfect time to get some things in order and get yourself, I'm going to use Blaine's term, get yourself into some good momentum coming far. Yes, little shout out there. Get yourself into some good momentum during this time in April, in your health, in your stress, so that come May, come June, you are rocking and rolling. That's what I've got. Hope it helps.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much, Sheri. And so if you are joining us online, we are normally in person in different restaurants all over Middle Tennessee, the first 3 Thursdays of every month, and every Friday of the month. We always have a 10 to 15 minute wonderful speaker, just like you just heard. And while this is going on in the world, we are doing it online. So you can see all our information at our website at NashvilleNetworkingBusinessLuncheon.com. Thank you, everyone.